startling news just broke on the internet is buzzing nonstop. Rumors are spreading that Mendeecees forced Mena into terminating her baby, and now an audio leak has emerged that fans are startled and emotions are running high as tales of betrayal, heartache, and deception dominate social media. The family allegedly split, with friends and insiders weighing in on this dramatic drama. Was this a desperate effort to preserve a reputation, or is there more to the tale than meets the eye? Today, we're exploring deep into these charges, researching every twist and turn and exposing the underlying emotions behind this bombshell claim. Buckle up, because this tale is far from. And what you're about to hear will have you wondering everything you thought you knew about Erica and Mendeecees. Stay tuned as we investigate the mystery behind the audio leak that is rocking the love and hip-hop industry to its core. Rumors began gently as a faint whisper passed between insiders and reality TV fans who always appear to know more than they should. However, what began as delicate conjecture has now exploded into a fireball of controversy. That is difficult to ignore. Social media is in flames, and every fan forum is humming with the same combustible issue. Did Mendeecees really push Mena into terminating her pregnancy? And now that the supposed audio leak is making its rounds online, followers are reeling, attempting to make sense of the emotional pandemonium. Leaking out from behind the scenes, it all started a few months ago when Mena abruptly withdrew away from the limelight. She had been sending mysterious comments on her Instagram stories, quotes about betrayal, silent sorrow, and finding strength after tragedy. Many imagined she was dealing with the normal celebrity drama, maybe a split or another disagreement. But then a rumor came from someone claiming to be close to the issue. They stated Erica was pregnant and then she wasn't. As soon as the tale got steam, the internet went crazy. Thousands of followers started guessing who the father may be, and all fingers pointed to one name, Mendeecees. Their relationship had previously been a source of speculation, but this was something else. This wasn't just about a fling or a tangled love triangle. It was about a baby and a decision that may not have been hers. Over the edge was the revelation of a supposed audio recording. The footage, released anonymously and swiftly rebroadcast across dozens of channels, seemed to catch stressful and emotional discussion between Erica and Mendeecees. In the tape, a male voice thought to be Mendeecees tells the lady, "This ain't the appropriate moment. You know what? What will this do to all we've accomplished and everything I have going on?" The female voice, apparently Erica, sounds distressed, answering through tears. "But it's not just about you anymore. This is my body, my baby. You can't force me to delete this." The veracity of the tape has not been verified, but admirers were quick to make their own conclusions. The emotional intensity of the discussion seemed raw and genuine, matching the timing of Erica's social retreat. Suddenly, this wasn't simply another love and hip-hop controversy. It was a devastating narrative of alleged emotional pressure control and loss. Those close to Erica claim she was surprised. Pregnancy was not intended, but she felt they could work it out together. She allegedly told pals that she expected Mendeecees would ultimately come around and welcome the notion, or at the very least support her. But according to reports, things changed almost suddenly. Mendeecees reportedly became cold, aloof, and combative. He stopped returning her calls, avoided public excursions, and pushed Erica spent weeks feeling conflicted and divided. She didn't want to lose him, but she also didn't want to betray herself. They were already connecting. With the life developing within her, picturing a future that suddenly seemed like it would never come, the burden weighed hard on her. And some who saw her at the time claimed she appeared like an entirely different person, emotionally tired, reclusive, and barely keeping it together. The audio leak, whether true or imagined, sparked a fire under the whole affair. Fans have gone to Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to fill the comments of both Erica and Mendeecees with questions, accusations, and emotional outpourings. Some are rallying around Erica, urging her courageous and resilient, while others are seeking answers from Mendeecees, wondering how someone who promotes family values could be engaged in such a controversy. Mendeecees has been noticeably silent. No explanations, clarifications, or even a denial. His past few postings have been irrelevant fitness routines encouraging quotations, commercial enterprises, but the comment sections are a warfare. Every post is swamped by people questioning, "Is the audio real? Did you really do that to Erica? Why aren't you speaking up?" And then there's Yandy Smith-Harris, sources close. To the pair claim Yandy found out about the leaked tape like everyone else online, and the repercussions was rapid. But she hasn't. Someone from her closest group alleges she met Mendeecees behind closed doors and asked to know the truth. Was he engaged with Erica when they were still together? Is there a baby? Did he coerce her into a choice she didn't want to make? The answers seem to be insufficient. According to an insider, Yandy was distraught and embarrassed by the incident. Particularly with the world watching, she apparently hasn't been living at the home and has isolated herself from Mendeecees' current initiatives. Fans are now wondering whether this is the beginning of the end for one of reality TV's most legendary couples. Erica, for her part, has cautiously returned to social media. She hasn't said much, just a few poignant statements and images with family and close friends, but it's evident she's trying to regain some calm. One post that really impacted viewers was a simple photo of a candle flickering next to a folded baby blanket, with the message, "Some goodbyes are never spoken." Within minutes, followers swamped the post with expressions of love and support, interpreting the picture as a quiet memorial to the baby she may have lost. The emotional toll this narrative has placed on everyone involved is evident. While the truth behind the audio remains unknown, the effect is undeniable. Fans feel misled. Some are protective of Erica, some are disillusioned with Mendeecees, and practically everyone is yearning for answers that no one appears to have thus far ready to offer. The issue continues to escalate as more claimed insiders come out, throwing gasoline to the flames. Some say there is more audio, more evidence, even text conversations that show Mendeecees actively pressing for the termination. Others claim it's all a concerted effort aimed to tarnish his name, but despite all the hubbub, one thing sticks out: Erica's anguish. Whether the charges are genuine or not, it's evident she's gone through something profoundly terrible. As this chapter concludes, it leaves her storm of questions. What happens next? Will there be additional leaks? Will Mendeecees eventually confront the situation? Can Erica find peace after so much heartbreak? Will Yandy continue to stay by her boyfriend or walk away from the pandemonium once and for all? The drama has only started, and if the past is any indicator, the next twist is just around the corner. Fans are watching, waiting, and prepared for what promises to be one of the most passionate and contentious stories the reality TV industry has ever seen. As the days passed and the tape continued to circulate, the storm only became greater. The longer Mendeecees kept quiet, the more persuaded fans were that the murmurs were true. For many, speculation became into certainty, and a fresh wave of emotions started coming in from those close to the issue, including bloggers, influencers, and even former Love and Hip Hop cast members began jumping in, each expressing their own version of what may have happened between Mendeecees and Erica. With every new voice, the story twisted a bit further. One especially heated moment occurred when a well-known gossip, the blogger, went live, claiming to have talked directly to one of Erica's friends. During the live broadcast, the blogger detailed details of an alleged late-night phone contact between Erica and Mendeecees, in which Erica allegedly asked to back her choice to keep the baby. She told him she didn't care what the public thought. The blogger stated she was ready to be a mother again with or without him, but he shut her down. She was being selfish, that she was putting his whole life in risk, and that if she followed through with it, he would never talk to her again. The comments beneath that live were packed with stunned emojis and heartbroken fans. Some didn't want to accept it, claiming there had to be more to the tale, while others were enraged, accusing Mendeecees of being deceitful and valuing his image. above Erica's emotional well-being. One remark read, "How can a guy who professes to care about family force a woman into something so unpleasant that I'm sick?" Meanwhile, Erica's silence was both powerful and painful. She did not address the audio, rumors, or instead than addressing the escalating instability directly, she uploaded photographs of herself in nature, roaming along beaches and woodland pathways, always alone. Fans started reading into every photo, attempting to interpret her feelings and her unsaid truth. In reality, one image showed her kneeling in a field of wildflowers, eyes closed, with a remark. It simply said, "What grows after the storm is what matters most." Enough to make her supporters cry. But then the unexpected happened. A fresh tape emerged. This time, it wasn't a chat, but a voicemail. Purportedly, the message left by guys was brief but passionate. In the recording, the man's voice stated, "You believe you can catch me. Really, you think I'm going to let all this fall? Apart from the fact that you made a mistake, I told you what to do. Do not make me repeat it." The leak spread like wildfire, and although its legitimacy was once again questioned, the harm was done. People started to see Mendeecees in a new light, not as the reformed, grounded family guy depicted on film, but as someone darker, colder, and more domineering. Friends of Erica started to come forward anonymously, communicating to blogs, and even leaving clues on their own social media profiles. One person uploaded a black square with the words, "Some wounds don't bleed, but they still break you." Another person shared a selfie with Erica, both of them holding hands tightly, with the caption, "She's stronger than you'll ever know. And no, we won't be silent." It was becoming more evident that Erica wasn't alone. Behind her public quiet was a group of women, willing to defend her and maybe even fight back on her behalf. At the same time, whispers spread about Mendeecees and his own inner circle. Apparently, the leak had generated friction inside his squad. Some members felt shocked by the response. One source stated that Mendeecees was outraged about the tapes being out and thought someone close to him was attempting to damage his image. Apparently, he began to distance himself from a few long-standing colleagues, even canceling a handful of scheduled appearances and interviews. While Yandy stayed outwardly mute, insiders said that she was battling behind the scenes. One insider stated she didn't sign up for this. Yandy is all about establishing her business, supporting women, and being classy. This issue is complicated, emotional, and it goes against everything she's worked so hard to achieve. She's wounded and bewildered, and she doesn't know who to trust right now. Fans started noting that Yandy and Mendeecees hadn't been spotted together in weeks. With family movies, their digital link abruptly grew chilly. Yandy stopped like his postings, and he stopped appearing in hers. Something had certainly gone wrong behind closed doors. To add to the tension, another former Love and Hip Hop cast member went to Instagram Live with a mysterious message. People always want to speak about loyalty, but they just mean it when it's convenient. You don't even know the half of what's actually going on behind those filtered photographs. While the individual never identified names, viewers were swift to suppose it was a veiled reference to Mendeecees and the unraveling catastrophe around him. In the midst of all this, Erica was seen visiting a healing resort in California. The paparazzi managed to photograph a few distant pictures of her wandering across a garden draped in flowing white, accompanied by other ladies. She seemed tranquil, if not totally cured, and for many followers, it was a sign that was attempting to move ahead. Others were concerned about what she must be experiencing: betrayal, emotional weight, relentless public scrutiny, and then came an anonymous poster, claiming to be a former aide of Mendeecees, submitted a detailed story on Reddit suggesting Mendeecees' involvement in a covert romance with Erica, while still openly dedicated to Yandy. According to the article, Mendeecees panicked when he found out about the pregnancy and started scheming methods to urge Erica to terminate it, afraid it would harm his family's reputation and affect his business prospects. While the narrative could not be corroborated, the depth of detail sent shivers through readers. By this point, supporters were split, continued to demand responsibility, urging Erica to speak her tale to reveal everything others were concerned about. Her mental health, saying that she did not owe anybody her anguish. Their focus was on Mendeecees, encouraging him to stand out and apologize if it was true, to defend himself if it wasn't, but the quiet in his camp was deafening. Media outlets started reporting the incident using careful phrasing, using terms like alleged leak. And according to reports, the Shade Room and TMZ took it up, then both stopped. Short of making outright allegations, the headlines were enough to keep the fire blazing. Every story, repost, and screenshot of Erica's emotive captions. The tale became increasingly dramatic, and there was no going back. What had began as Erica's suffering had escalated from whispers to a full-fledged public reckoning. Now, whether deliberate or not, her quiet had become its own type of narrative, one that seemed more powerful than any spoken words. Mendeecees was previously considered as a repentant guy with a complicated background. He was suddenly in the heart of a storm that he couldn't control. As the pressure rose, fans worried what would happen next. Would further leaks come out? Would Yandy eventually break her silence? Would Erica come out with her version of events? The internet waited with aching hearts, expecting the next twist in a narrative that seemed far from done. Things had reached their pinnacle when an unexpected event sent shockwaves through the whole late one night. Erica posted a series of mysterious Instagram tales that drove followers into a frenzy. The first report featured a close-up of her eyes read from what seemed to be sobbing with a message. That read, "Truth always finds its way to the light." The next slide was even more intensity. A snapshot of a text thread, slightly blurred yet with legible lines, read, "You said you'd be there, so don't pretend like it's not genuine." While she could not identify who the letters were from, followers were quick to presume they were sent to Mendeecees. Almost soon, screenshots of her tales started circulating around Twitter as people scrutinizing every pixel and punctuation. Mark speculations rushed in. Some fans claimed Erica was now ready to speak out, while some assumed that she was telling Mendeecees that she had more receipts to drop hashtags like Dorica. Talks and denies exposure began trending within hours. The pressure was now boiling over. Individuals close to Mendeecees reported that he was entirely spiraling. One source claimed that he did not anticipate this to blow out the way it did. Hoped it would evaporate like earlier rumors. But this time it's different. The audio, the messages, and the way Erica is treating he is losing control of the story, and he knows it. Reports began to emerge that Mendeecees had recruited a crisis management firm to assist him handle the issue, apparently instructed him to lie quiet, avoid public appearances, and prepare carefully crafted statement in case Erica officially went public. To some insiders, Mendeecees was hesitant. He still feels he can repair things privately, according to a source. If he only speaks to Erica one-on-one, she will back off, but it may be too late. Meanwhile, Yandy's quiet began to speak volumes. Her social, except for a solitary post featuring a picture of her children, the media had practically gone quiet. The caption reads, "They're the only truth that matters." It was subtle, but the message, some admirers saw it as an attempt to distance herself from the situation. Others read it as an indication that she was wounded and maybe surprised by the discoveries. Then came Erica went live without notice, and that instant altered everything. Came on Instagram Live late one evening. Her face was exposed and her hair was knotted. Back and her voice calm, yet loaded with passion. Thousands of spectators joined. Within seconds, the comment section was flooded with love emoticons, prayers, and appeals for her to share her tale. I didn't want to do this," she continued, her voice quivering slightly. "But I'm exhausted of seeing others describe it for me." She took a big breath then. I didn't wish to be in this situation, and I didn't anticipate any of this to happen, and I certainly didn't expect to feel so alone in it. While she never mentioned Mendeecees by name, it was brutally evident who she was talking about. She spoke of betrayal and being made to feel like a mistake about being pressed to make decisions that still tormented her. "Something I can't unhear," she muttered gently. "I was made to feel that my life was... feelings didn't matter, like I was disposable, like I was a danger to someone's image." Life only lasted around 15 minutes, but it was more than enough by the time she finished it. We're already being spread over every network conceivable. Fans, influencers, and media outlets absorb every word, scrutinizing her tone, pauses, and the agony in her eyes. The reaction was instantaneous and tremendous. Fans flooded her comments with support, complimenting her bravery and candor. Several shared their own tales of feeling pushed, suppressed, while some wanted responsibility from Mendeecees. As if the internet wasn't already in disarray, someone published another voicemail. This one was longer and more devastating. The first one had a voice that sounded nearly comparable to Mendeecees. "You understood what this was. You knew what we had to defend. This isn't about that, love. This is about survival. If you care about me at all, you'll do whatever it takes. Be done." The backlash was swift and brutal. Fans and followers turned. Up the heat is pointing out the manipulation, emotional coercion, and the evident Mendeecees was previously praised for prioritizing reputation over responsibilities. His redemption story and family values were now being portrayed as a villain in... A behind-the-scenes insiders indicated that his team was scurrying, reportedly implored him to issue a statement to at least attempt to explain or clarify the situation. But according to one insider, he's trapped. No matter what he says, it'll look horrible, and he knows. At the same time, rumors started to circulate action may be taken. Some suspected that Erica was contemplating bringing him to court, and not only for emotional distress, but perhaps for slander or coercion, depending on the circumstances behind the leaked audio and communications. Bloggers and legal specialists weighed in on whether the leaked tapes might be used as evidence and what possible punishments Mendeecees would face if Erica pursued legal action. The prospect of a judicial battle added gasoline to the fire, and then there was Yandy. While she hadn't spoken publicly, stories alleged that she and Mendeecees were now living separately. One source said they are not technically split, but things aren't good. She's focused on the children and herself. Own recovery. This scenario took a toll on her, and public opinion continued to. While many backed Erica, others asked why she hadn't come out earlier. Some questioned However, even among the doubters, there was a common feeling that it wasn't right, that at the very least a lady had been mistreated, pressured, and abandoned. Must deal with the fallout alone. Commenting on the circumstance, some in favor of Erica, while others expressed dismay in Mendeecees. One former castmate noted, "This isn't the man we thought we knew. If the tapes are authentic, he must accept responsibility and make amends." Fans proceeded to dig through old episodes of Love and Hip Hop looking for red flag situations. Mendeecees may have hinted at another side of himself, but they pointed to subtle conversations, unexplained absences, and offhand statements that in retrospect seemed to convey a different image. The internet has morphed into a digital. Everyone in the courtroom was waiting for the next revelation of Erica's agony. Public property, and Mendeecees' silence was regarded as guilt. Despite all the hubbub, the girl at the heart of it, Erica, remained calm. She did not upload any more tales, nor did she go live again. Instead, she vanished from social media totally, leaving followers both anxious and intensely involved in her well-being. A single leaked audio snippet has transformed into a full-scale, public reckoning. Reputations were on the beta line, and families were rattled. Behind every rumor and disclosure revealed a lady who had been mistreated, pushed, and silenced. As the days became a stressful and emotional haze, fans saw something. Even more unnerving was Mendeecees' quiet, which had grown deafening. Posted Anything hadn't gone online, hadn't made a single effort to address the increasing debate had already taken over headlines and timelines, and that silence was beginning to speak more than even people who formerly backed him were starting to doubt why someone attacked him so harshly. With 2 leaked tapes, would prefer to stay hidden than to speak up for the demand to react was nearing critical mass. In an unexpected twist, a prominent Erica's buddy came forward. She shared a video in which she visibly hesitated. Emotive. "I didn't want to get involved," she added, "but I was there. I saw what she went through, and it kills me to see others disbelieve her." She claimed to have observed the Erica had gone through the late-night phone calls, weeping in the restrooms, solitude. She didn't deserve that. "No lady does," said the buddy sadly. Although she did not go into explicit detail, her statements were enough to rekindle the flames surrounding the situation within hours. Media sites grabbed up the footage. Headlines blared. "Friend confirms emotional trauma. New testimony backs." Erica and Mendeecees are dealing with increased heat. Fans used social media to express the outrage, and the demand for responsibility became stronger. More individuals started calling out other actors. Members of Love and Hip Hop asked why so many people remained quiet, why no action may be taken. Some suspected that Erica was contemplating bringing him to court, and not only for emotional distress, but perhaps for slander or coercion, depending on the circumstances behind the leaked audio and communications. Bloggers and legal specialists weighed in on whether the leaked tapes might be used as evidence, and what possible punishments Mendeecees would face if Erica pursued legal action. The prospect of a judicial battle added gasoline to the fire, and then there was Yandy. While she hadn't spoken publicly, stories alleged that she and Mendeecees were now living separately. One source said they are not technically split, but things aren't good. She's focused on the children and herself. Own recovery. This scenario took a toll on her, and public opinion continued to. While many backed Erica, others asked why she hadn't come out earlier. Some questioned However, even among the doubters, there was a common feeling that it wasn't right, that at the very least, a lady had been mistreated, pressured, and abandoned. must deal with the fallout alone. Commenting on the circumstance, some in favor of Erica, while others expressed dismay in Mendeecees. One former castmate noted, "This isn't the man we thought we knew." If the tapes are authentic,